Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary McGuire, Director of Public and Legislative Affairs for AAA Northeast, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to our virtual town hall, August to Autumn, Safe Summer and Fall Road Tripping in Massachusetts. Doesn't that sound like fun? Hey, in these challenging times, we all need something fun to look forward to. So why not plan a safe and sanitary road trip, especially with so much to see and do in our own backyard, right here in the great state of Massachusetts? Your journey can be as simple as an afternoon road trip or a week-long getaway. In a recent survey, 68% of our AAA members told us they plan to take a road trip this summer, and 83% said the trip would be in their home state. And we know that the fall season here in the Commonwealth is also a great time for beachgoers and leaf peepers. The tourism industry is also the third largest employer in Massachusetts. So when you travel, you get a much needed lift, and so does the economy. We certainly understand that many people aren't comfortable with road tripping right now, but if you love travel as I do, there are steps you can take to safeguard yourself and your loved ones and have a great time along the way. This town hall is being recorded, and if you have questions for our panelists, please don't be shy. Just type them into the chat box on your screen, and we will try to get as many of your questions answered as possible. Joining us this morning to talk about all things travel in Massachusetts are 4 chamber executives who are experts on travel and the economic impact on Massachusetts and beyond. Wendy Northcross is CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce and a very busy person these days. Thanks for making time for us, Wendy. Wendy has held the top post of the chamber since 1997, been a chamber executive since 1988, and is a tremendous cheerleader for vibrant Cape Cod, a place we all love. Roy Nascimento joins us from North Central Massachusetts Chamber. I've known Roy since he was the head of the Attleboro Chamber more than 15 years ago. He moved on to head the New Bedford Area Chamber before joining the North Central Mass Chamber in 2015. So Roy has spent more than 20 years promoting many regions of the state. Monique Messier is the newly appointed Executive Director of Discover Central Massachusetts. Congratulations, Monique, representing the city of Worcester and 34 surrounding communities. Monique comes to Worcester after being part of the opening team for MGM Springfield, which certainly was exciting. Finally, Jonathan Butler is CEO of One Berkshire, the flagship chamber of the beautiful and exciting Berkshires region. Jonathan has held the top position at One Berkshire for 6 years, and he has a lot of ground to cover, from Williamstown and Mount Greylock in the north down to Sheffield, with its famous covered bridge in the southern part of Berkshire County. Jonathan has also served as town administrator of Adams, Mass, and as legislative director for former state senator Ben Downing on Beacon Hill. So I should say before we get started that Jonathan's having some technical difficulties, so we hope he will join us later in this broadcast, but if not, I can talk about the great week that I just spent in the Berkshires. So we'll make sure that we certainly include the Berkshires, even if Jonathan is not able to join us. So thank you all for being with us today. Hello to our audience. We're looking forward to a fun and lively conversation. I don't know if you can see, but next to the AAA logo behind me, I have a tennis racket and a shirt with pink flamingos. So I want to make this as fun as possible. And we all love to talk and think about and plan travel. So let's start, since Jonathan was going to be my first stop in the Berkshires, and I don't think I see him on the screen. Let's travel east to the central region of Massachusetts. Roy, I don't think many people realize how many great attractions there are in the north central region. Can you suggest some good road trips for our audience today?
Sure. First of all, Mary, I want to thank you and AAA for the opportunity to speak today about North Central Massachusetts. Obviously, I'm biased, but North Central Massachusetts is truly just an incredibly beautiful and dynamic region. We encompass 27 communities here in Massachusetts. We're less than an hour from major metropolitan centers like Boston and Worcester, New Hampshire, and we boast many amenities that appeal to families and visitors right now looking for a safe and affordable day trip. The region is it's often referred to as Johnny Appleseed country for our really strong agricultural heritage and connection to apples. And fun fact, that icon of American folk history, Johnny Appleseed, John Chapman, aka Johnny Appleseed, was born right here locally in Leominster, Massachusetts, and he's the official folk hero for Massachusetts. And first and foremost, to answer your question, when I think of our region, I think of the great outdoors. North Central Massachusetts offers a lot of space to spread out. We boast a lot of open space, year-round outdoor activities that are safe, provide social distancing. We're home to that iconic Mount Wachusett, which is the highest point in the state, and just offers amazing views and lots of activities, from hiking to skiing in the winter. And right now you can hike Mount Wachusett and then take the ski lift down. They're offering rides from Mount Wachusett ski area. So a wonderful opportunity. We also have a lot of state parks, rivers, forests, all that stuff that, hiking, camping, kayaking, hunting, and it's year round. And one of the things I like about North Central Massachusetts is we have the largest concentration of farms in the state. We have over 800 farms in North Central Massachusetts. Many of those farms have really reinvented themselves over the years as destinations, and they provide visitors an opportunity to connect back with with nature and with our agricultural past. And they're also really safe because, again, you're outdoors, and they've implemented a lot of safety practices, social distancing, and that type of thing. But in North Central Massachusetts, you can do things like take a hike with an alpaca at Plainview Farm in Hubbardston. You can go horseback riding at a place like Cornerstone Ranch in Princeton. You can pick fruit during the summer and during the fall, which is the key period for us. You can pick apples at many of our orchards. We have so many. Sholin Farms, which is the only municipal-owned, community-owned apple orchard in the state. Hollisville's Farms in Pittsburgh, Red Apple Farm in Phillipston. There are so many more that I'm overlooking, but there's just tremendous farms and orchards in the region, and they offer all kinds of activities. One of my family's favorites is visiting a destination called Davis Farmland in Sterling. It's really safe, it's kid-friendly. They have rules in place that adults cannot go unless they're with a child. And for me, with young children, that makes me and my wife feel safe about bringing our kids there. Seventh generation farm, began as a dairy farm and has an incredible collection of farm animals, including some that are endangered, and offers opportunities for kids to pet these animals, feed these animals, connect with these animals. And they've expanded over the years. They now offer a mega maze, which they open up in the fall, a corn maze, which is a really popular destination for adults and families. And they've expanded into laser tag, into a water park, and they have plans for a restaurant right here. So they're continuing to expand, which is great. And I know we're focusing on the fall, but I think it's important to mention that we're also a four-season destination. We have a lot of activities into the winter as well. So as your members start thinking about the winter, think about North Central Massachusetts. We're right in their backyard, and we offer the skiing, ice fishing, hiking, cross-country skiing, all of those activities. Again, Mount Wachusett is right in our backyard, and Wachusett Ski Area is one of the best ski resorts we have in the state, and less than an hour away from Boston, and just so many opportunities there. So we're just a great opportunity, and there's nothing better than, there's nothing safer than skiing in this pandemic. You're wrapped up, you've got a mask on, it's a very solitary type of activity. So it's very, very
Roy, those are all such great suggestions. And I have to say, I've had some great times in North Central Mass. We have skied at Wachusett, and as I just said, not only do you have the mask on, you've got the goggles on and the hats, so you're protection for ski season. And it's great to hear that, obviously a wonderful hiking destination, and I would presume mountain biking too, especially since it's going, which is fantastic. I've been to Davis Farm, I've been to Red Apple Farm, the petting zoos. I know you have young children, so, great destinations. Went to a wonderful wedding at an old barn in Sterling, which is a wedding venue. You've probably been there too. So there are just so many great destinations. And I saw that you also have an art museum in Pittsburgh, an aviation toy museum. So again, more for people to do in terms of museums, which are now open, correct?
Absolutely, and I was remiss in mentioning a lot of those attractions that we have. We have a great collection of historic museums and cultural attractions. Pitchburg Art Museum is one that I want to point out, just has an incredible collection and is getting a really strong reputation, has been really highlighted in the Boston Globe and other media for their collection and their efforts to grow that collection and offer new artists. So they do a great job. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Russian Icons Museum. What a phenomenal museum right in our backyard. It's in Clinton, Massachusetts. Who would ever have guessed? It was news to me when I first started here 5 years ago and discovered this place. But the Russian Icons Museum is right in Clinton, Massachusetts. Offers the largest collection of Russian art and icons outside of Russia, obviously, in the world. And it's just a beautiful building, well managed, and just a lot of educational activity as well. A lot of it's gone online, but though both museums are open and practicing a lot of safety measures, social distancing, and those types of things. I encourage any of your members to visit our website, visit northcentral.com for information on any of the attractions that I mentioned. And they'll also find information on the websites for these different attractions so they can get more information on them.
That all sounds great. I know I've spent many happy days in your region. So thank you so much and I bet a lot of people don't know about the Russian Icon Museum. So it's great that you mentioned it because there are all sorts of undiscovered treasures across the Commonwealth that many people don't know about, which is why we're doing this webinar today. So we will talk further later about the challenges of COVID-19 and some of the ways in which your businesses and attractions are adapting to ensure for safety and social distancing for visitors. But Monique, I want to move on to you. We'll travel south to Worcester and those 34 surrounding communities. And I have to tell you, I went to the Worcester Art Museum, speaking of museums, for the first time last year. I was absolutely blown away by the collection. I mean, it is just extraordinary. And the neighborhood around there and the schools, et cetera, just amazing, an incredible resource. So again, congratulations. I know you're fairly new to your position, but you've been in travel and tourism for a long time, I know. So tell us what we can hope to find in Worcester and the surrounding communities.
Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity, and I want to say thank you for inviting me to participate in this call. Love to just tell everybody a little bit about what we have going on in our region. So after you go to North Central Mass, you need to pop on over to Central Mass to see what we also have to offer. I'm going to jump right in with Sturbridge. So everybody loves Sturbridge. What an amazing place to have in our backyard. Old Sturbridge Village, social distancing. You are outside. There's so much to do, walking grounds. Right now, they actually have a promotion going on through Labor Day. Kids have free admission, so absolutely something to take advantage of to go and tour. Also great places in Sturbridge, like the Public House. Amazing, beautiful tent outside. And if you haven't gone to the bake shop in the Public House, you are missing out. Definitely, I mean, we'll drive there just to check out the selection of pastries and whatnot. Amazing. They have a wonderful coffee, a pastry, go sit outside, visit Old Sturbridge Village. There's so much to do there. I mean, we could talk about Sturbridge for an hour alone. Tons of farmers markets also happening throughout the summer and into the fall. We have a lot of the same orchards that Ray's talking about, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then, when you're done with Sturbridge, pop on over to Worcester. If we could advance the slide, we have over 45 parks alone just in Worcester. So much opportunity for hiking and nature trails. I love to highlight that as, when you're thinking about Worcester, I don't think you're necessarily thinking about that you have the opportunity to still come into a large city, but to be able to explore and hike in the serenity. And as you can see, it's beautiful landscape, it's beautiful pictures, it's serene. And then right in downtown itself, we have additional parks. If you want to go to the next slide, right in downtown, we have Elm Park, and then we also have the Moore State Park. Again, beautiful. If you're not looking to hike or bike, you can just go pick up on a bench and take in the beautiful scenery. Again, serene, social distancing, lots to do, and amazing to just come downtown and sit and take in the sights. And the other thing too that I wanted to highlight is that we have a lot of camping in the area. We actually just gave you some photos here of the different opportunities for camping. Once you're done with those state parks, enhance your trip a little bit more and check out the great camping in the region. As you can see, we have Indian Ranch here. Right next door, we have Sutton Falls, Pine Acres. There's just so much in regards to camping. And when you're done camping, you want to come back to the city, right? So what is there to do in the city of Worcester? There's a lot to do, actually. First thing that we suggest people to come on in and take a tour of all the different breweries. You can hop around. You don't have to just stay in Worcester. You know what? You can altruist. They're out in Sturbridge. We have Timber Yard that just opened in Spencer. And then right in downtown, we have great names. We have Wormtown. We have Wachusett. All of these different options have greater good. They all have options for socially distancing. Sit outside. They all have patios. They're all very respectful of the rules and regulations, and everybody is doing their part to keep everybody safe. And then if you're not looking for a campground, check out one of our hotels. We have a lot of name brand hotels downtown. We have the AC Marriott. If you're not looking for a name brand hotel, but you want upscale, we have the Beechwood. They actually just did a massive renovation. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. As you can see, they all have beautiful outdoor grounds as well to enhance the social distancing scenery. You can sit outside, have a beautiful drink, lots to do there. And our hotels have all been very, very strict and stringent now with their cleanliness and their sanitation guidelines. The nice thing about having a lot of properties that have flags. So we have a Hilton Garden Inn, we have the AC Marriott, we have the Homewood Suites. All of these properties have corporate standards that are now in place to ensure that when guests come in, you're safe, you're taken care of, your rooms are clean, they're extra sanitized. You should feel very comfortable and confident that these properties are really taking this seriously, and everybody's going to come in and enjoy a good time and go home, feeling good that they were taken care of. And while you're downtown, a really cool, fun, different, unique part of the city is that we have shopping, and the shopping is fun. We have some different, I wanted to highlight to you some of the different unique types of stores and markets that we have downtown. Retro albums, come in and check out Joe's albums. How cool is that to be able to actually go through all the different album titles? We have a designer, Sweet James, we have a designer consignment shop. That's very fun. Love to come to town. It's not your everyday collection of items in there. Very cool, very fun, very different to come through. Crompton Collective, just different, unique. And again, I wanted to point out that we have a lot of small businesses in downtown that are truly worth exploring when you're visiting the city. And when you're done visiting those, you need to eat. Let's talk about dining around the world. You can come into the city and you can have any type of cuisine that you are thinking of. The ethnic eateries are amazing. You cannot, throw out a type of food that we could not come up with a restaurant for you to go and enjoy, from Thai to Eastern African to Spanish to Japanese, you name it. We really love to talk about the flavors from around the world because it's fun and it's different. And it's the opportunities are endless. And right now, just to also point out, in regards to the restaurants, they're all social distancing, and many of those restaurants have created outdoor seating environments to make sure that everybody is safe. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about what else there is. You already talked about, you were great with all of your comments already about the Worcester Art Museum. We also have the Ecotarium that we don't want to forget about. They are open right now. They do also have a special offer. If you were to look on their website, you can find them right from our website. They are doing free admission for first responders, for military, for veterans. Check it out. It's a wonderful way to say thank you. They will be closing this fall, so get there fast. They're going to close just for a little while, but every place will be opening back up. But I didn't want to leave people out. I would be remiss if I didn't highlight the opportunities that will be coming around the corner. And again, that's also why you see a picture of our DCU Center. It's an amazing building with an arena. So when they are open back up, it's always a great opportunity to go in and see a show. Those are future thinking. And then I wanted to highlight to you right now, the City of Worcester is running a campaign called We Love Worcester. When you're traveling, just stop at a local restaurant or one of the establishments that we talked about, anywhere that you are, put a picture of yourself in a mask, take a photo, send it to us over at Discover Central Mass. We want to give you some money. We actually have an offer this fall where the grand prize winner will walk away with $1,000. Again, it's just to show that the city is safe, to promote social distancing, to say that we are listening, to support our small businesses, because that's extremely important right now in this economy, and to say, you know, we're open for business. And when you are done taking your photos and trying to win some money this fall, definitely go out and visit our orchards. As Roy talked about in North Central, Central Mass is also very full and rich with orchards, beautiful scenery. I mean, nice, crisp, fresh air. Nothing better than going out and picking some apples for the day and just getting a nice family-friendly activity to do. And then lastly, I just wanted to show you where you can find us. Come on over to discovercentralmass.org. We are on Facebook, Instagram. You can find us pretty much any way. We're on Twitter. One really cool thing I want to highlight about our website is we have what we call the visit widget. There's a photo of it right there. You can go on that, and we already have itineraries made where you can put in what you're looking to do. Are you looking for a craft beer tour? Go on our widget and you can download a craft beer tour. We'll tell you where they are. We'll give you driving directions. We'll tell you how long it's going to take from destination A to destination B. And that's just one itinerary. Anything that is of interest in you, you will be able to find an itinerary for. So while you're traveling through, take a look at that app. You might find something that you didn't even think of.
Well, thank you, Monique. Terrific presentation and terrific math, and good luck with your mask campaign. I think it's fantastic that you're doing that. All of those food pictures are making us hungry. It's 8 minutes to noon, so we're all gonna have to go have a snack. Feel free, if you're in the audience and you're hungry, grab your lunch. But you know, it's so true. We actually at AAA have been to Beachwood many times because they are a Diamond Award winner and have been for many years. And so we've made many visits there, and they're just a wonderful hotel and do a great job. And of course, Sturbridge. Who doesn't love Old Sturbridge Village and the public house? I've eaten there. I did the Christmas stroll in Sturbridge. A couple of years ago, and it was so much fun. So, you know, and again, as you point out, the breweries and the apple orchards in North Central and Central, I've done some wonderful apple picking there. You know, again, this is something we can look forward to doing in the fall because it's easy to get distance and to wear a mask in an apple orchard, right? So, and you're outside, so it's just a great activity. So I'm so glad that both you and Roy talked about that. So now we're going to move even further east to beautiful Cape Cod, which of course is just a treasure for those of us not only in Massachusetts, but across the country and around the world. And Wendy, I expect you to be coming to us from the beach today, but I know you've been extremely busy, so you're in your home office, it looks like. But tell us, if you would, what people can expect to find on Cape Cod this summer. And by the way, the Boston Globe has done a number of articles that I've read about the fact that apparently Cape Cod rentals are very hot this summer as people try to enclose their families in a safe space and still have fun. Is that the case?
It has been an amazing summer, I have to say that. And I too appreciate the opportunity to sit and chat with you this afternoon, but we have been so fortunate on Cape Cod. We've had a very solid summer season. You know, it's not like any other summer that we've ever seen. Quite honestly, hard to track and say what the playbook is for operating in a pandemic, but we have successfully reopened. We have very good health numbers, but people are being very mindful. They're doing a lot of research. They're calling and asking a lot of questions. So reservation desks at hotels, the Chamber Visitor Center staff, people at weneedavacation.com, lots and lots of phone calls because people want to take a safe vacation and they're finding home rentals are filling that need. So yeah, so we've had a pretty robust season so far. The thing that's different, that's been interesting to me is that, you know, the hotel stays have tended to be shorter, 2-3 nights. This year, those stays are longer, but the home rentals, they're not just renting a week, they're going by the month. So we've even had some property management companies buy back a week that they had rented out because someone wanted to take the entire month. So July and August have been extremely busy, but the great thing about Cape Cod is that we literally have tens of thousands of homes that can be rented. And so the inventory is quite strong, and into the fall, we're hoping that demand stays up too, because I mean, you know, Mary, September is probably the best weather month on Cape Cod, and it's just people here say, don't tell anybody about September. And it's like, okay, but it is a fantastic time. Well, you know, because we stick out into the ocean, we're naturally cooler in the summertime, but it also keeps us much warmer in the fall and even into the winter. I've gone to the beach in October and November almost every year because it's so magnificently warm, beautiful, and less crowded, right? So this year, with over 560 miles of coastline just on Cape Cod, 1,000 miles of coastline if you add in southern Plymouth and the 2 islands, we've had plenty of room for people to do the social distancing. So they've really been attracted by the beach, by the open parks, by the bike trails. We have miles and miles of bike trails. And of course, our fresh seafood, kayaking, people are anything to do with the water. That's where they want to be this summer. And I'm hoping that that's where they want to go this fall as well. You know, we have lighthouses, some of the largest concentration of lighthouses in the country that you can see. Some of them are open for tour, probably not open this summer for tours. There's been a lot of safety precautions, but we've had a very popular season for kayaking, people buying kayaks actually, which is great. But some things that we've tried to do a little bit of a pivot here. A lot more drive-ins. You know, there's the Wellfleet Drive-In. Everyone's seen that iconic destination for years as you drive up towards Provincetown. But now we have a drive-in. Actually, where I used to go to the drive-in as a kid in Yarmouth, that old site is now a drive-in again. And they're not just doing movies. They were like broadcasting the Red Sox and really fun things like that. And they're piping in other forms of entertainment like opera and musical concerts. So you can do the drive-in in Yarmouth. You can do a drive-in theater Main Street in Hyannis. Sandwich has one. Falmouth has one. So it's really a fun way to get together with your family or friend, whoever's in your bubble, right? Stay safe in your bubble and enjoy some really cool things on Cape Cod. And that, a lot of that will continue into the fall. But there's some things you can do at any time of the year that are relatively new, and you can do that safely. For example, our independent bookstores have created the Cape Cod Book Trail. You can download that and visit your independent bookstores and support them and find some really interesting, unique places. We have, this year, the town of Yarmouth started what they call Discover Old Cape Cod. They put together a compilation of sites that you can drive to, walk to, and learn about, including the Edward Gorey house. I don't know how many people remember Edward Gorey had that vampire-y artwork that was done, a Masterpiece Theater, that was the intro to Masterpiece Theater. That's in the Mid-Cape area. And then we have, let me see, the Sand Sculpture Trail. That'll be up through the end of the year. The Hyannis Artist Shanties. A lot of themed activities that maybe you just didn't think about before, but you want to come back to, you think you know Cape Cod, you think you understand the destination, but 15 unique towns, all of them different from each other, with hidden little gems, amazing resources, and of course, tons of places to eat, right? So just as Central Mass and North Central Mass, our restaurants have done a very good job at creating those outdoor experiences. We have a lot of tents up. We have a lot of decks. We have a lot of pressure-treated wood got sold earlier this summer as people created their deck environment. And now they're looking to the fall and they're trying to weatherproof it a little bit, making sure that there's heaters and that people will be comfortable, because that's just where people want to be. They want to be outside, so they're being well accommodated. And then our traditional lodging, we have some of the most amazing luxury resorts where you don't have to go anywhere. You can be there. Their spas have safely reopened. They are accommodating that social distancing for dining. Just fabulously luxurious accommodations right to camping, right? At Nickerson State Park, one of our iconic parks that you can camp, you can fish, you can bring your bicycle and get literally almost everywhere from Nickerson State Park. So all kinds of things going on this fall. I think it's important for people to remember in fall on Cape Cod, we have our cranberry harvest, which are the most stunningly beautiful things to see, especially if it's a bright blue sky day and those cranberries floating on blue water. But it's also our aquaculture season. Any month that ends in an R is great for shellfishing, and that's when you get the best shellfish, right? So remember those R months, September, October, November, December. That's the time to come for shellfish. And then in October, that's when the whales that live at Stellwagen Bank all summer, that's when they start migrating back to the Caribbean. And that's when they're very active, and it's a great time of year to go whale watching, to see whales breaching and swimming. And it's just really kind of nice to connect with nature and get your dose of nature bathing. That's the new thing for your health now is nature bathing. So you can do it in spades on Cape Cod.
We all need more nature bathing. And, I think one of the great things too is that there are so many beaches on the Cape. And so you can really find beaches where you can be more socially distant. I had gone to Mayflower Beach in Dennis in May, which is one of my favorites. And it was pretty crowded, but we found a nice sandbar. It's a big beach where we could distance. But, recently we've been going to South Cape Beach, which is really in Mashpee, which is just a terrific place and lots of space there. And so lots of kettle ponds on the Cape too, if you want to swim in a pond. And those, of course, are, a little bit more isolated. So I think there are just so many great choices for people. On the kayak mention, of course. I mean, I've kayaked the Bass River quite a bit and just love, kayaking. And again, a great way, as you said, to do some nature bathing and to get away, get some distance, but still get some great exercise and see beautiful scenery. So you're so right about all of those things. And I'm glad you mentioned the drive-ins. Wendy, my daughter just went to the Mendon drive-in, and now she wants to go see an 11:15 show of Jaws this coming Saturday night. So I don't know if we'll stay out that late, but
you can do that here too.
We will. And I'm glad to hear that you're having a really robust summer season there. And we'll talk about the fall in just a minute. Roy, I want to come back to you, but before we do that, Mark, I'm going to ask our slide group to put up our slides of the Berkshires, because I want to make sure that we include the beautiful Berkshires region, since Jonathan was not able to join us, because it's such an important part of the Commonwealth and such a big part of tourism. So I can speak to the Berkshires just very briefly. My husband and I just spent a wonderful week there. You can see the mist on the mountains, which was something we saw a lot of because it's kind of a stormy week. But still really wonderful. Lots of great museums in the Berkshires. You see Mass MoCA here, the Clark at Williams College. So many historic and interesting places to visit. Lots of historic homes. You see one right here. I think we have a picture also of the Mount, which is Edith Wharton's home. Here it is right here. Absolutely stunning. Easy social distance on those grounds, and a fantastic history, and so many terrific old homes and mansions in the Berkshires that are well worth exploring. You see the hiking trails here. We did a lot of hiking when we were there. There are actually a lot of hiking trails around the Mount, Edith Wharton's home, but there are tons of hiking trails in the Berkshires, as well as ski areas, those who are looking forward to winter. And of course, here's the iconic Red Lion Inn. We had 2 visits to the porch there. Had a great drink called the Front Porch, actually, that they make there. So lots of great restaurants here in Stockbridge, and just a lot to do, from Sheffield in the south with its iconic covered bridge to the north, Williams College, Adams, all of those great museums up there, Mount Greylock for those who to hike in the mountains, of course. A real landmark for those who love hiking. So at the Berkshires, lots of great opportunities again for social distancing there. Lots of wonderful restaurants. We did a lot of outdoor dining and felt very, very safe, and everyone wearing masks, and the proprietors of those restaurants being so careful, as I'm sure is happening in all regions of the state. So that's our brief tour of the Berkshires, courtesy of Mary McGuire. We're sorry that Jonathan could not be with us, but always like to give the beautiful Berkshires a plug. So Roy, let's circle back to you now and tell us what you've got planned for the fall and winter. You talked about apple picking, you talked about skiing at Wachusett, and also let me ask you this, how challenging has it been for your businesses, your attractions to adapt to entertaining visitors and welcoming visitors during COVID-19, and how have they done that successfully? What kinds of things are they doing to make visitors to North Central Mass, Johnny Appleseed Country, feel safe and secure and have fun?
Well, many of our attractions and our businesses, we have mainly small businesses, small and mid-sized businesses. We're not a destination that has a lot of larger kind of corporate entities. We have a couple, but it's mainly small businesses. So this has been a significant challenge for them, as it has been for everyone. But they've stepped up. Our businesses have really stepped up. They've been responsive. They've taken this seriously. Offering a lot of new safety protocols, sanitation, and are being really innovative in their ability to adapt to what consumers need. And while this is a horrible situation that we're going through as a country, our region has really responded very well, as other regions have as well. And we also look at this as potentially an opportunity, because we are very rural. And it's an opportunity for us to provide unique opportunities for residents of Massachusetts that have been cooped up in their homes and are looking to get out, and that are looking for safe opportunities and unique opportunities for their families and themselves. But the businesses have stepped up. The restaurants, a lot of them, as my colleagues have mentioned, are offering outdoor dining. We've got restaurants like the Bull Run in Shirley, which has a beautiful traditional covered bridge right behind their restaurant. They're doing dining right on the bridge. So how cool is that? And it's safe, and have lots of protocols in place. Our hotels, have all stepped up. They're taking this very seriously, and they're learning from each other. They have networks within the hospitality community, so they're learning best practices. We have larger facilities like Great Wolf Lodge, which unfortunately, as a water park and hotel, they haven't reopened yet. They'll be in phase 4, but they're already thinking ahead, and they're taking precautions, and they're investing in new technology. They have technology that will allow them to know how many people they have in the building at any one time, so that they're safe. And so a lot of that kind of innovation, a lot of restaurants and attractions are just taking this seriously and adapting to the challenges that this provide, and looking for opportunities.
That's terrific. And, I'm just have been amazed by the creativity and the willingness and the ability to adapt of so many businesses, restaurants, hotels. The dining on the bridge, I love. You're going to have to give me the information about that when we're done, because that sounds like a lot of fun. Monique, I'm going to put the same question to you. And then we have a question from our audience. And Roy, I'll let you think about this for a minute so I don't put you on the spot. We have some pet lovers in our audience, and they would like to know what the most dog-friendly places, parks, hotels are for bringing your dog, bringing your pet to North Central and Central Mass. So think about that for a minute. And Monique, I'll put that same question to you. What do you see for the fall? What do you envision? And how have your businesses, restaurants, hotels, centers of tourism adapted to the challenges of COVID-19?
So I see the fall still really focusing on, open air, outdoor locations. I see it being very hyper local. People really want to explore their own regions. And we're lucky, right? Massachusetts is small. You can visit everywhere. You can hit Central Mass, North Central, Cape Cod. I mean, you don't have to go far to really hit all this rich history that we're talking about. I know I can tell you right here in Worcester, the city has been very proactive. They're opening streets and sidewalks, making more opportunity for the businesses and the restaurants to have outdoor options to enable everybody to have social distancing regardless of how large the inside of their store or their restaurant is. One cool thing, if you go on to discovercentralmass.org, you'll see we have an events calendar, and it used to be filled with, different things that were happening. Well, now there's a lot of virtual events happening, and there's some really cool things happening out there. There's like a murder mystery that the Hanover Theater is putting on, fun things to check out. Still want you to come here. We still want you to walk the streets. We've provided safe ways to do that, again, with really focusing on social distancing guidelines and the city really taking it seriously. Our small businesses, they want to stay open. They've adhered to the policies, and I think that if you come through, you will feel safe. And I think you'll see there's just a lot of outside opportunities to hike or to kayak again, or the apple orchards. I can tell you August 29th, the Brookfield Orchards, they are having an outside, a little vendor here, shop, small businesses out there. So I think you'll see a lot of that going into the fall, and we love it. And there's a lot of, restaurants and hotels that are looking forward to visitors coming in and visiting their establishments.
Okay, so while we're with you and Roy, we have two questions now for North Central and Central Mass. The first one is the pets. Where can you bring your dog? What's the best place? And the second one is, what are the best places for leaf peeping and seeing the fall colors? So Roy, you've had a chance to think about this for a minute. Anything you want to throw out at us as a suggestion?
Sure. Actually, while you gave me, thank you for the opportunity to kind of research it. I did not know off the top of my head, so I had to go on our website, which again is a great resource to research pet-friendly locations in North Central Massachusetts, as well as everything that we offer. And again, that website is visitnorthcentral.com. And again, I know a lot of our attractions, a lot of them, especially the ones outdoors, the farms, the breweries, a lot of farms that have reinvented themselves as breweries. And we have some vineyards as well, produce some fantastic wines. A lot of them are pet friendly, so you can go there. But there's also information on our website about specific places that you can go. The Nashua River Trail in Groton is pet friendly. There's all kinds of dog parks in the area. Our own visitor center that is on Route 2 is pet friendly, and there's a dog walking trail there as well, and a great opportunity. So there's tremendous opportunities. Dunn State Park, Wachusett State Mountain Reservation is a great place, and all of these are pet friendly.
That's great. Great information. Thanks for the question. Monique, do you want to add anything to the leaf peeping question or the pet question?
Sure. Let's talk about the dogs. Breweries love pets, right? Go and visit Rapscallion over in Sturbridge and bring your pet, bring your dog. It's a beautiful place to be, lots of outdoor spaces. Most of the breweries are very amenable to having your pet with you, and we have lots of breweries in our region. The other thing, as far as leaf peeping, there's a lot of leaf peeping areas that you can do. If you have the time, go out and visit Salem Cross. Not sure if you've ever been to Salem Cross. It's in West Brookfield. Their landscape is amazing. Get a drink, go sit outside on their grounds. The trees, the foliage around them is just amazing and beautiful. Again, as well as all of those parks that we were talking about, 45 right here in Worcester alone. Douglas is filled with beautiful places to leaf peep. I think the options around us are endless.
Now, what about the Quabbin Reservoir? Because I've spent some time biking in there. And by the way, these are all great places to bike, Cape Cod as well as northern and central Mass. Is that a good place for seeing the leaves?
Quabbin Reservoir is breathtaking. The scenery from the reservoir, the overlooks where you can just go park, it's amazing. I would say it's probably one of the best places to leaf peep in the Central Mass region. The opportunities are endless as far as where you could drive to, where you could see the leaves. The colors are amazing. Now I want fall to come because I want to go see all the leaves and all the trees. And yeah, the Quabbin's a beautiful, beautiful place to go, and very close to Salem Cross also. So, go and have a nice dinner, historic you know, a rustic type of a dinner and then hit the Quabbin, and that's a beautiful day. And hiking and biking in the Quabbin is, you know, you can't beat that. It's amazing.
Yeah, really a great spot. It was a difficult bike ride though, because there was a long uphill, but fortunately it was followed by an even longer downhill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a great place to visit. Okay,
I
so
just biked there with my kids about 2 weeks ago. We went biking, and I agree with you. They were all gung ho. You know, I was loving going down the hills, but going up was tough.
Yeah, going up is tough. But, you know, we all know that, hey, the bike stores haven't been able to keep bikes in stocks. Everybody's back ordered, you know, so a great activity, you know, for people who are looking to do something with the family, get some exercise and do some social distancing. And speaking of bike trails, Wendy, Cape Cod, the Shining Sea bike path, Gale Trail, I've done them both, fantastic. You know, and fall is a great time to do it because it's hopefully going to be a little cooler. But
That's
what
right.
can we expect on Cape Cod this fall? You talked about the cranberry harvest, which is always spectacular. And what about pet-friendly locations or beaches on the Cape and some leaf peeping on the Cape?
Well, don't forget, we get the last color in New England because we're so much warmer from the ocean. Our leaves turn in late October. So a nice drive down Route 6A, the northernmost route, actually goes all the way to Provincetown, is very scenic. That's where we have a lot of our big, the trees with the leaves that turn color, right? Instead of the small little scrub pine that you'll find on the southern part of the Cape, you'll have the big, beautiful maples and oaks, and it's really, really pretty. Our pets are, the dogs can take back the beach after Labor Day, you know, so we relax our no dog rule after Labor Day, and that's always kind of a moment of rejoicing for Cape Codders. But we do have a pet-friendly accommodation section on our website too, capecodchamber.org. As Monique and Roy said, it's a great resource, and just go in and Google. We also have a booking engine. If you are curious about what the availability is, what are the room rates, we have a real-time booking tool on our website that you can find accommodations. We very frequently get people that come to the camp and say, oh, I'm here for the day and I want to see Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and Provincetown. And we say, okay, pick one. Pick one. So stay overnight and go to 2. But I think that this year you'll find some interesting things, like the ferries going to the islands. Just a ferry ride to the islands and back is really fun. But the ferries are operating at 50% capacity, so they can assure safety, which is great. And they are doing that. They're doing that quite well. But a lot of our cultural attractions are just now opening in phase 3. So they're having ticketed events. Buy a ticket in advance, and then you're assured of an appropriate time to show up and enjoy an exhibit. Jfk Museum, for example, and Jfk Museum is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Heritage Museums and Gardens has over 100 acres of beautiful open gardens. Same thing, you buy a ticket online, be assured of having that your own special time and space there. But I think that you'll find almost everything that happens in the summer will continue on Cape Cod into the fall. There might be some exceptions, and there's some events that are iconic events that have been, they're up in the air. So we just tell people, check back frequently with us to see, you know, what will happen with some particular events. Right now, we're trying to get a handle on the holidays. We have a lot of Christmas strolls, a lot of boat parades, and check back with us to see what the schedule is for some of that stuff.
You know, one of the reasons why we decided to go to the Cape in the fall, and actually late September and into October, is that we know it's still beautiful, the water's warm, the beaches are still great, but it's a little less crowded. And I think that is appealing to people right now. So I know that shoulder season has always been big in Cape Cod, but do you expect to see maybe even more bookings this fall because people are looking to get some space, some distance?
You know, it's so hard to tell. We are actually launching our second summer campaign because we do have phenomenal weather right through. As it gets colder on the mainland, we stay warm. So we're hoping that's the case, that people will continue. School is a very different dynamic now for people, right? The kids are going to be in a hybrid model or remote. That means they're not tethered to a school building. That means the parents can take a later September vacation than they normally would and have more options, because it is always, families are the core market for Cape Cod. So when school goes back in, it changes, and this year it's hard to predict exactly how it's going to change.
That's so true with all of the changes in terms of the start of school and colleges as well. So you're absolutely right about that.
Right.
One question that I want to quickly ask all of you to address is, I think a lot of people are comfortable going to a restaurant outdoors, but they might have a little bit more trepidation around staying in a hotel. One of the things that I was so happy about when my husband and I stayed at the Berkshire Mountain Inn is that everybody was required to wear a mask on property inside the hotel. They limited the number of people in the elevator to 2 or 3. When we got into our room, it was sparkling clean, and there was reusable plastic on the remote controls. I mean, a lot of care and TLC had been taken to ensure a safe stay, and we felt very safe and secure. So, Roy, I'll put that to you. What are hotels in your area doing to try to make sure that people are comfortable and feeling safe during their stays?
Well, I think right now, if you have to travel and you have to stay overnight somewhere, I think the best place to stay is at a hotel, just because they're taking it so seriously. They've all implemented protocols and safety measures. They're doing all those things that you mentioned, making sure that everyone wears face masks, having plenty of sanitizer, extra cleaning, extra staff. Even though business is down, they're investing in extra staff to make sure that they have a safe visit for anyone that's staying at their location. So they're taking it very seriously, and they're learning from each other. I think Monique mentioned that a lot of them are under different brands, and so they have these very high standards from those brands, and they're sharing information. Even the ones that are independent, I know, are sharing information, best practices. Some of them have relationships with other hotels outside of the state, so they're learning about what other locations are doing and kind of adapting some of those best practices. So right now, if I had to travel and stay overnight, I think the safest place I feel most comfortable is staying at a hotel, just because I think they're going to have those practices in place right now.
I think that's such a great point. So much extra effort is being made in terms of cleaning and sanitation. Monique, let me put that same question to you. How are you adapting and putting best practices into effect in the Worcester area and surrounding communities?
So we actually, here at Discover Essential Mass, we stay very connected with our hotel community, and we have calls every 2 weeks where all of our hoteliers get on the phone together and talk and share ideas about what they're doing, best safety practices. I'm going to throw this one out there because it's a little different than you've probably heard. We have some hotels that are actually putting a piece of tape on the door, so you know when you go into your door, once it's been sanitized, nobody else has come in. It's cleaned, it's sanitized, it's taped. You get your key, you're the first one in there. And again, with a lot of the flagship properties, they have a very robust sanitation plan, where they are going through and really maintaining high standards of cleanliness. So every time we talk, it's really a hot topic, and it's not going away. They're talking more and more, and masks are absolutely, everybody is very strict, and everyone is enforcing the policies.
That's terrific to hear. Wendy, same question to you for Cape Cod, and you have about 2 minutes, I would say.
Sure. Well, we've seen a lot of contactless check-in. You don't even have to get out of your car. They'll come out to you, give you your registration and how to get into your room. Rooms are now minimal. They've stripped out anything that could be superfluous, including like dust ruffles and extra pillows. We've also seen a lot of investment in fogging machines, and people really stockpiled PPEs and disinfectants so that there would be plenty and we wouldn't run out. So I think people have really been mindful. That's what they were doing when they couldn't open. They were planning that quite carefully.
Yeah, that's so true. The fact that they did have at least some time, some downtime to think about putting these procedures in place, I think probably was extremely helpful. Well, we're glad they're all back, I can tell you that. So we are about to close here. I will tell you, Wendy, I'm wearing my starfish today in honor of you and Cape Cod, but to give you a moment to think, I'm going to do a quick lightning round, and I want you all to tell me what your favorite spot is in each of your regions. And I will start out by saying my favorite spots are, I would have to say Sturbridge in the Art Museum in Central Mass in the Worcester area. I would have to say Wachusett Mountain for the ski in North Central, and I'd have to say Mayflower Beach in the sandbars on Cape Cod. So those are my favorite spots. And Roy, if you had to name one spot, what would it be?
Oh, Mary, you're putting us in a tough spot here.
I
Let's
know.
go with attractions and numbers.
Remember remote.
This is hard. I guess for me, I love the fall here in North Central Massachusetts. We are a four-season destination, but I love the fall. I love all the farms that we have. I love the leaf peeping. I didn't really talk about this much, but we just have tremendous, just wonderful fall foliage in the fall. And I would say, driving through, Westminster and Princeton and, that Route 140 stretch, it's just beautiful fall foliage. Mount Wachusett State Reservation as well, just has, just phenomenal views and it's great fall foliage. And the ski area there, Wachusett Ski Area, does a nice job. They offer on the weekends during the fall their sky ride. So it's the chairlifts during the fall are used, and it's just a great way to kind of check out Princeton and Westminster and that whole Mount Wachusett area, and just a beautiful, beautiful area. And so I guess I'd have to say that because we are entering into the fall, but you're really putting me in a tough spot here.
I know, it's an unfair question to Chamber folks because you love it all. Monique, what about you, if you had to name one?
Let's see. I'm going to say I love Sturbridge and I love Worcester, but let's go out there a little bit further out, and I'm going to say the Hardwick Vineyard is an amazing spot to visit, amazing opportunity to see foliage as well. I should have actually mentioned that earlier. And right now they've created their vineyard it's like a big farm, a big barn type of a structure. And they took the barn doors off and you can drive in your vehicle right through the middle of it. You can purchase a slushie made right from the vineyard. And then you can go and park outside and sit. They do have socially distanced tables out there, so you can enjoy your homemade wine slushie and take in the scenery, and that's just super fun and a little different.
Hey, who doesn't love a slushie, right? Especially in the summer. And Wendy, how about you?
Yeah, this is hard. I'm going to have to say the Cape Cod National Seashore is just one of the most stunning places on the planet. And we are so fortunate that President Kennedy and Senator Saltonstall helped preserve that over 50 years ago. It is just a very special place.
Well, I can't agree with you more. It is a absolutely stunning place and a wonderful place to swim, for sure, and to see sharks on occasion.
Yeah,
but we won't talk about that.
Stay close to shore.
That's right, exactly. Well, I have to tell you, this has been such a fun and fascinating conversation. You've given us so many great ideas about places that I didn't know about, and I had done quite a bit of research, but you've mentioned so many fun attractions that I didn't know about. So hopefully our listeners and viewers today got some ideas for travel and certainly made me feel a lot safer and more secure about traveling. So I just have to say a big thank you to all of our panelists for sharing your time and expertise today. And hopefully our speakers have managed to both inspire you and reassure you and our audience to plan a road trip. And if nothing else, you can always start planning an adventure for when life settles down a bit, because we know that a big part of enjoying a trip is the anticipation of that trip. So our AAA travel agents are always ready to assist, and AAA Northeast has produced this helpful COVID map to assist travelers, and has also launched a program called Smart Depart, which is designed to promote safe travel. So please log on to AAA.com and visit us at the Travel Center, and our travel agents are always ready and standing by, ready to answer questions and discuss your travel plans. So thank you once again to our audience for your great questions. Big shout out to Mark Shieldroff and Alex Lackey for your terrific work behind the scenes as always. And a final thank you to our panelists. You are absolutely terrific. I hope you have a wonderfully successful summer and fall and winter season. It's been great chatting with you. Hey, remember everyone, life is a highway. So stay healthy and safe travels to all of you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.